Interestingly enough, I was in high school and I had a friend whose dad owned a real estate brokerage locally in New Mexico. And they invited me to come work for them, doing reception and checking in files, taking the fax machine documents and calling the agents and telling them they had a fax in. So searching the MLS for the broker and scheduling showings and other things. Had been working in the office and I'm like, these agents, if they can do this, I can do this, right? I had all this ego. So I'd been working in the brokerage for several years. I got my license the month I turned 18. I got to start my real estate career in what is honestly the worst real estate market we've had in 30 years. Our market was a little bit harder, so it took me 9 months to sell my first house, which oftentimes you think, well, that's normal for an agent, but I had high hopes, and so I was a little bit downbeaten. Well, I was determined to be successful, so I kept working at my lead generation. Finally, I figured it out about 6, 7, 8 months in, and my last 3 months of the year, I sold 11 houses in that time frame. So last 3 months of my first year, sold 11 houses, and that put me in a bad year as the rookie of the year for my office. I decided I need to be at the brokerage where people implementing entrepreneurial models like the Millionaire Real Estate Agent were, and that was Keller Williams. So I moved to Keller Williams. I've been at Keller Williams now 13, 14 years. So when I first came to Keller Williams, there's this conversation I'd never heard before, which was, what's your why? And at first I was kind of like, well, I'm here to make money. Like that's my why. And that felt maybe a little hollow. And they're like, it's something bigger than money, like something that surpasses the money that you could keep doing even if you weren't paid for it. Well, the first answer that I gave to that was, well, my why is that I am going to fund a family. And I want to have the freedom to have a number of children and be able to afford to have the children. And I wasn't even married at the time. So I'm just kind of forecasting for the future. Okay, I need to fund the life that will allow me to have a family. So that was the first answer. Well, then as it progressed, I kept iterating and I realized, okay, well, really what I'm after is freedom, like choice, freedom of choice. I want to be able to choose where I'm at and what I do and who I work with. And okay, so my why is freedom, choice and freedom. And then I realized, well, more than just choice, it is, this greater freedom, but I really want to help other people have freedom. I want them to experience various levels of freedom, like whether they're on my team and we're working on how they can get to new levels of income, because excess income allows you to be generous and to invest your money, to give, to do other things. You got to have more than what you need. So we're going to help people unlock freedom, not just in their income, but other life things as well. So I really kind of grabbed onto this idea, and I always say the vision of our company and the vision of myself is that we unlock freedom for others, which also is a fun play on words if you're a realtor and you're opening doors, right? You're literally unlocking doors, unlocking freedom for others. Well, that iteration happened over a 10-year period of me learning what it meant to have a why. As I realized that I really care about unlocking freedom for others, I realized there's more than just freedom of money. There's also freedom in relationship. Like, how do we help people? My wife has a counseling degree. How do we help people work through their own hangups in how they relate with one another and how they reconcile when there's problems or issues? And maybe there's small things where we're just helping someone, going back to money, budget or do something that allows them to have a little bit more freedom in that aspect. But then there's also aspects of spiritual freedom. What does it look like to really be free from the burdens and the anxieties and the frustrations of life and to reconnect with your creator that you feel estranged from? So I see unlocking freedom as like this whole range of all the different ways that we feel disconnected from freedom or shackled and burdened. And some of them are light and some of them are really heavy. And so I got the opportunity to be an instructor for Keller Williams. And obviously there are opportunities to get paid and there's fun aspects there and there's influence that comes with that. I get a lot of agent referrals when I speak in other markets. But for me, becoming a Keller Williams instructor was actually about taking my message of unlocking freedom beyond just people on my team or the people in my direct market center. It gives me an opportunity to speak in market centers anywhere in the country, across the region, and Quantum Leap, which is a course written by Gary Keller around how successful people think and how you can make small changes that lead to big life changes, life results, and how you unlock all the opportunities in your life. There's a lot of conversation about freedom. There's a lot of conversation about the whole person in Quantum Leap, which is so fun. And so Quantum Leap is one of my favorite classes to teach because it's really about helping people walk through the process of deciding for themselves what choices they're going to make and how their life is going to be and what they're going to do differently. And so Keller Williams gave me that one, it taught me some of those principles, and then two, it gave me that opportunity to expound on that with other people.